Okay, guys, let's start with the next discussion. So today it's day 16 of 200 days DSA Python series, and today we will be covering uh, the topic rearranging array elements by sign. So what this question says is you have been given an integer array, okay, and you will be having equal number of positive and negative elements, right? What you have to do is you have to uh, create an array which will consist of alternate positive and negative elements in that array, and the order of that array should be similar, right? So that is the question. So for all integer with the same sign, the order for which they were present in the nums will be preserved. So whatever the order of original uh, positive and negative respective arrays were there, that order should be preserved, right? So if you consider this array, you have 3 1 minus 2 minus 5 2 and minus 4. So your output should be first positive, then second will be this negative, okay, then third positive should be this, not this one, okay, not this 2, it should be 1, okay. So what should come to your mind? What is coming to my mind is, how do we solve this question? We can first we need to traverse the array through, right? So we will do one pass, and with for loop we will traverse the array, and we will kind of extract uh, the negative and positive. How do we extract that? How are we gonna extract? So what we will do is, what is first instant what's coming to my mind is, I should create, if I create two different arrays, half arrays, okay, um, of negative and positive uh, elements, right? Two different arrays, each of negative and positive elements. And what I'll do is I'll again uh, put a for loop, and I'll try to extract alternate elements, first from positive, then from negative, then from positive, then from negative, like this. So in the second array, what is happening is the length is halved, right? You have been given equal number of positive and negative arrays, okay. So when you split these two arrays, what is happening? um, the two arrays which are getting split, okay, those are carrying equal number of elements, right? So this is one of the helping thing which we will be developing, okay. So let us start with the coding part first, okay. Rest all we will think along the code, right? So I'll just say for I in range 0 to n, okay. I'll assume n as the length of array, okay. N is equal to length of array, right? So nums is the array. What I want to have an output is list of integer values, right? So we will see on those lines, we will try to find out. So how do I separate negative and positive signs elements? Simply I'll put an if, I'll say if nums of I is less than 0, right? uh, if it is less than 0, let's consider one extra array, blank array, okay. So this is the negative arrays list, okay. this is a blank list. What I'll do is, if nums of I is 0, what all nums of I are 0, I'll append those nums of I to this negative array, right, list. Okay, negative list. So what I'll do is neg dot append. What I'll append? Nums of I. Okay. Else what I'll do? I'll append all positive uh, elements to positive list, which I'll have to assume again positive list, right? Else pos dot append nums of I. Okay, so whatever is I, it will get append. So if I, let's dry run, my I is, let's say 3. Okay, I is equal to 0 and nums of I is 3, then this will executed, this will get executed, because nums of I less than 0, no, it means that this else part will get executed. So what it will do, so nums of I, it will append, nums of I means 3 will get appended to pos list, means positive list, right? And if, let's say nums I comes here, so at index number 2 nums of I is -2. So if nums of I is less than 0, yes, nums of I is less than 0, then this nums of -2, sorry, nums of 2, that is -2, it will get appended to negative list, right? So now what I'm getting is a set of positive, or you can say a list of positive and negative integers I have, right? Now what I'll do is I'll extract alternate elements of um, pos and list, right? This pos and neg list. So positive and negative list, I'll extract elements one by one. So what I'll do, I'll again start a for loop. Okay. Now what will be the length? 0 to len of anything, neg or pos, doesn't matter. Okay, because their length will be equal. Okay, what I'll do, I'll be picking first element from positive. Okay, so I'll once again have uh, let's consider one result, again a list, right? Again a list. So result dot append. Now here it will be pos of I, pos of I, and the next step will be result dot append neg of I, right? Because neg of I and pos of I, if I say the pos of I will be like this, I'll just have a view. Pos of I here will be 3 comma 1 comma, sorry, 3 comma 1 comma 2. Okay, and neg of I shall be -2 comma -5 comma -4. Okay, so this will be negative. So here I is 0, so it will, pos of I is 3, so it will append in result 3. Then what is neg of I? Neg of I is neg of 0. Neg of 0 means -2. So in result it will append -2. So first letter will be 3 and the next letter will be -2. In next iteration, the value of I is after 0 1, right? So pos of 1 is 1 and neg of 1 is -5. So again it will get appended to this result, and in the end what I'll say, um, I'll just say return result. I think this should give me the result. I hope this works. So simply we have done, if nums of I is 0, then yeah, it is accepted. Yeah, correct. So output and check the case 2. Case 2 is also correct. So let's submit it. So is it submitted? So let's see the hint also. I think there is some problem in the internet. We are able to solve the test case. It's taking longer than usual. Something is wrong with the internet. Uh, yeah, okay. Is the screen visible now? Please comment me yes or no. Yeah. Let's try with geeks for geeks. Okay. Can we get some questions? Check with Naukri code 60. Yeah. So I think LeetCode is not working for maybe some due to reason. We can just do the same thing on Python. Okay. So let's use Python 3.5. I will just say for I in range 0 to n, then if nums of I is less than 0, uh, neg dot append, sorry, nums of I, else pause dot append nums of I. Okay. Again, the other for loop I in range 0 to length of pause result dot append pause of I, result dot append neg of I, right? And in the end return result. I'll just run it. Oh, I have to sign with Google. Okay. Is there any issue with the code? Syntax error for I in range 0 to n, I in range 0 to everything seems correct. Okay, but before that we have to define what is pause equals this, neg equals this, result equals this. Let's run. Still error. Line 2. Okay, pause neg. Showing runtime error. Okay, we have something else. ARR. N is equal to n of ARR. Otherwise, how it will run? For I in range, man. Okay. Why still an error? Desired output is this. My output is 1 2 3 minus 1 2 3. Why it is coming like that? Positive of I, then negative of I. Okay, this is coming correct. Mm. ARR of I, like dot append ARR of I. Okay, and suppose dot append ARR of I. Yes, this is also correct. And the next I in range 0 to len of pause. This is also correct. Result dot append pause of I. Result of I. Return result. Why is it not? Okay, so this question was asked in PayU, Amazon, Disney Hotstar, Four Kites, and Code Nation also. Okay, so these companies are asking questions, and it is pretty simple question. Uh, so it is saying you are given an array ARR, okay, that contains an equal number of positive and negative elements. So first of all, if there are total equal elements, total elements will be even, and rearrange the given array in such a way that positive and negative numbers are arranged alternatively. Yes. Also, the respective relative order of positive and negative should be maintained. Yes. Okay. For example, if we have this given array, then answer should be first will be positive, then will be negative, then positive, negative. Okay, 0 is also considered as positive. Okay. So, okay, yes, correct. Because we have only considered less than 0. So else wala part mein it will be greater than or equal to 0, it will consider, right? Mm, okay, 3 minus 1. Okay, this will be invalid. Make changes in same array and no returning or printing is needed. Consider 0 as positive element for this question. Okay. Okay, it is guaranteed that an answer always exists. So in this question, there is something we don't have to return. Okay, uh, we have to make changes in the same array. So what I will do after this is, um, I'll run one for loop again, 0 to n, and I'll just uh, replace ARR of I is equal to result of I. So it will change all the elements. Okay, so yes, all test cases are passed. So in the end, what I have done is, because they said uh, we have to do changes in the same array and no returning, so I have not returned anything. All right, I have just done the replacement of all the elements in that array with the original array. That's it. This solved the question from Amazon, Disney Hotstar, Code Nation, Four Kites, and PayU, right? So in LeetCode, this was not the condition. I was doing that, but there was some problem in the LeetCode platform. So this was not the situation that was given in the LeetCode. We were supposed to return a different array element. That's why in the initial I have returned result without reading the full question. So guys, don't make this mistake. Kindly read the question properly, because this will only single line of code has actually made up the solutions, right? So this was it. Okay, let us discuss the time and space complexity as well. So what will be the space complexity? It will be order of 1. It will be a constant space, because we are doing everything in ARR of I, right? We are not returning any extra space, right? So we are changing everything on ARR of I, so we don't require any space. So space complexity will be order of 1. Space complexity is equal to big O of 1, right? How do we write it? Like this: big O of 1. Is this O or 0? This is O. And what about the time complexity? How many loops we have? How many loops we have? We have in total how many loops running? Order of 1, order of n. This is 1. Which is the second? This is the second. So order of n. Also here order of n. These are all append functions, conditional arguments. This will have order of 1. Order of 1. This will also have order of 1. Time complexity. This will also have order of 1. This will have order of n divided by 2. Why? Because there are equal positive and equal negative numbers, and it is equal to half of what is the total number of elements in the original array. So it will be order of n by 2. Here order of 1. Here also order of 1. So what is the total time and what is the total time complexity? Order of n plus order of n by 2 plus order of n. So it is order of n into 5 divided by 2. Yes. So total time complexity, I'll just write it here. Total time complexity is equal to order of bracket start n plus n by 2 plus n plus add all these 1 2 3 4 5 6, right? Now what is the worst case scenario? What is the worst case scenario? Just go to this, just go to constraints. What is the worst case scenario? ARR of I is 10 to the power 9. Okay, this is the number. What is the total number of n values? 5 into 10 to the power 3. It means that 5000. Okay, so this is, so if we see the total number of n is 5000, then this approximately we can say the whole order is little more than n, so we can consider it as n, order of n. So if interviewer asks you what is the total time complexity, just tell them this, and on an average we have order of n. because there is only for loop running, single for. There are no nested for loop, right? There are no nested for loop. The exact time complexity is 5n divided by 2. Just ignore the 6 numbers here, that can be ignored. If interviewer asks what is the exact time complexity, then you can always answer 5 into n divided by 2. That is the time complexity, right? So guys, this is how we can solve this question. It was a relatively easy question, just everything on logic based, right? You just start solving the question, okay, and ideas come to your mind, right? And this is how we, you know, solve such question. This was an easy question. However, here you can say this is an easy question, but in LeetCode it is of medium level, okay? So sometimes people may feel it is an easy question, sometimes somebody may feel it is a harder or medium question. I feel that it is an easy question because idea came to my mind. I didn't find any difficulty in executing the code, right? So I feel it is an easy question, okay? Some of you find it difficult, but with slow practice, okay, with slowly you do practice. If you do at least 50 to 70 question of LeetCode, then probably you will be in a position to solve this question without looking at the solution, right? So this is how you do it, guys. Keep following and keep practicing LeetCode every day. At least solve one question. That will boost your confidence, that will boost, recall everything whatever you have studied previously. So that will boost everything, right? Just solve one question every day. It will hardly take half an hour, but just don't jump into the solution. Try it out yourself first. At least 20 to 25 minutes you try one question. You do it, you fail, right? It doesn't matter. Nobody is going to uh, put a question on you whether you are failing or getting passed, no, right? If condition, शैलेश ने कुछ लिखा है, ब्रदर इफ टू कंडीशन विल कम इनसाइड ARR लूप के अंदर आएगा. Probably you can solve okay, this Salish has given one solution also. I don't know whether this solution will work or not. ARR of I is equal to -1 into ARR of I, and ARR of I into 2 equals ARR of I into 2 is equal to, this will come, ये loop के अंदर आएगा, this will come inside the loop. ब्रदर हाउ आर यू, भाई कैसे हो? Okay, Sailesh, you can try out this strategy, but I don't think, because you are multiplying -1 with ARR of I. Why you will do that? Because you have to extract the element. The element is already positive or negative, right? You don't have to multiply -1 to make it positive or negative. You don't have to do that. Let's submit it. So compilation check is done. Okay, this is accepted. So there are total 11 test cases. All the test cases have been passed. Okay, and runtime is 397 milliseconds. Okay, this is my day one streak. So I have solved this question on code 360 first time, Naukri code. Okay, All right, uh, we can go for okay, so we have solved this question. So today was day 16 of 200 days Python DSA series. uh, what I'll do is I'll just see what questions we will be doing tomorrow. So LeetCode is not working, guys, today. I don't know why. uh, so tomorrow we will be doing longest consecutive sequence. Okay. uh, so longest consecutive sequence. Okay, this let us do some brainstorming on this. I think this lead code has started working. I'll just share the longest consecutive sequence. Okay. Negate don't multiply minus 1. So what is longest consecutive sequence? So we have, so this is a medium question, guys, and it has been asked in various product based companies like Microsoft, Adobe, and code code ninjas. So given, we have been given an unsorted array of integers num. So this is given, guys. Return the length of longest consecutive elements sequence. So what we have to return is, we have to return the length. Okay, we are not required to return that sequence. We just have to return the length of longest consecutive element sequence, right? And they have already given, you must write an algorithm that runs in order of n, big O of n, right? So how do we approach to this question? Let us start with running for loop only. We don't have any other choice as of now. 0 to n. Okay. Array is unsorted. Okay, so let us consider this array. Everything is unsorted. We have to return, the output should be 4. How? Because when I reaches here, then I have to check the condition whether in that particular complete list, do I find nums of I plus 1 or not, right? So do I find 2? Okay, if I start with this 100, okay, when my nums of I is 100, then I will try to find whether 101 is there or not, right? Then only I'll get what the consecutive elements of sequence is, right? So whenever I am going to 100, I will find in the complete uh, list whether 101 is available or not, right? If it is not, then I will do I plus 1, right? this is the this is the thing which is coming to my mind, right? I have to shift my I. right? Because 101 is not found. Okay, then I have to shift my I. When 4 is there, means nums of I is equal to 4, then I will find what? I will find nums of I plus 1, right? Means I will be finding, I will try to find number 5 in the whole list. Okay, and if it is not found, then I will do I plus 1, right? So simply what I am telling you, I'll write in code. Okay, um, what I'll do is I'll just put condition if nums of I, okay, if nums of I in nums, then what I'll say, if it's not in nums, okay, if it is not in nums, then I'll shift, right? I'll shift my I. And if it is found, then what I'll do, if it is found, then I'll append the elements, and when the elements gets appended, I'll just get the length of that array, right? This is the simplest way which is coming to my mind. But what is the problem in this? This is a nested for loop. Nums of I will search every time it will iterate in the whole nums list. So it is becoming a nested for loop. Still we will do this. We will do this approach. We will try to find out the solution. And if we don't get solution, then we will try some other approach, right? That is what we can do. So we will just try with that approach. Simply you are traversing, and you are saying nums of I is not in num, then I'll shift I. I'll shift my I. And if it is there, then I'll append. With append, I'll check the number of elements, right? What all elements are getting appended. So what I'll do, result dot append nums of I. So I'll take one result variable here, and in the end I'll try to find return length of result, right? This should give me something, but I don't know, because there are two for loops, and what are our constraints? Constraint is 10 to the power 5. What did I say in the last lecture? If nums of length is 10 to the power 5, it means that here what I'm doing is, what I'm doing is I am creating two nested for loop. This if statement is also for loop because it is traversing the whole loop, right? It is nums of I, this number, it is finding in the whole list, right? It is one by one checking everything. That is why it is a double for loop. If we run this code, there might be some problem. Okay, there might be some problem. So what we are getting? We are getting some wrong answers, something wrong, right? So what can be, this is the brute force approach, but it is getting failed. So what else you can think of? Or you can write in other way. If nums of I in nums, then what I'll do, I'll just but after result also, but after appending the result also, I have to shift my I, right? So what I can do is, while I less than n. I can use while loop also, doesn't matter. I'm so sorry, I plus equals 1. Unbound local error, cannot access local variable I. Why? Okay, I have to initialize what is I also. I starts from 0. Okay, I'm getting the same answer in this. Okay. There is one more solution. I mean, one more thing I can think of is if I consider a result as set, then this search will have big O of 1. The, the time complexity of this search will be big O of 1. Okay. So this is the difference. If I search linearly, right? If I search linearly in nums, where num was list, there was the for loop. The time complexity was order of n. But if I search the same thing in result, where result is my set, then it will be order of 1, right? We are just picking one by one. There is no linear search or there is no for loop, right? So what I can do is I'll have to create a set first, then I'll pick out the sequence. Okay, so I'll just for I in range 0 to n, how do I create a set? Result of nums of I is equal to, let's say, 0. Okay, this will create a result of next consecutive sequence. Let's do with this. Now I don't have to append anything. If nums of I in result, then I'll append something, but this variable will be different. Uh, I'll just say output is equal to, let's say it's a list. Okay, one more thing, you cannot append list directly into result. You have to convert it into tuples first. So result dot add tuple. Okay, and nums of I, then I'll just say output So what I'm trying to do is I have added the result in form of tuple. Okay, I have added nums of I. First nums of I we have converted to tuple. Then we have added this tuple into result. Now we are again starting another while loop, and we are putting the condition if nums of I in this result, right? Result we have added everything. If nums of I is found in result, so what I have to do is nums of I plus 1, because I have to find the next number, right? So whatever is my nums of I have to find the next number, right? If I have this 4, then I have to find the 5 in this result. And as this is a set, it will have order of 1. It will just pick, right? It will just pick. So let's try out length of output only I want, and this is correct, this is also correct, but something is missing when I reaches last. When I reaches uh, this last value, what will be I plus 1, what it will find? It yeah, it may find, it can find it. Yeah, I think we should run this. Okay, unmatched. Okay, so here why I have converted this nums of I, and it is saying int list is not iterable, because whenever we sort anything, this is a single element, right? So it cannot be iterable, right? If you have multiple nums of I, let's say 2 3 4 10 minus 1, okay, more than one, so you can sort it, but it says it is not iterable. So this, there is something wrong in this code. So result dot add tuple, if I remove this sorted, int object is not iterable. Code is correct, but since nums of I is just an integer and sorted nums of I, you are sorting only single integer, then it will always give this type error, int object is not iterable, right? Because sorted expects something iterable, like a list or a string, not an integer, right? um, So we are adding in form of tuple, and if I just remove this, result dot add nums of I. So when I becomes the last element, then nums of I plus 1 will create a problem. So what I'll do is I'll just check, uh, if I say nums of I minus 1 not in result, Then I'll do I plus equals 1. So guys, today was day 16 of 200 days live DSA series, and the next question, that is longest consecutive sequence, that will be solving in day 17, that is tomorrow. As of now we have tried to do it, and I think we have almost reached 70 to 80%, and this topic we will be covering tomorrow. Okay, so till then, bye bye and take care and good night.